On today's video, I'm making an incredible porchetta sandwich that is going to blow your mind, as I'll be showing you one of the most popular sandwiches in Rome, but obviously my take on it. Because you see, on my last visit to Italy, I had several different sandwiches there. One of them was a porchetta sandwich that was horrible. It was probably one of the worst things I ate there, but on the same day, Italy redeemed itself, as I found one that was not a tourist trap. Pretty much one of the greatest porchetta sandwich I had. It was marvelous. And today on this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can do it at home using Sous Vide. The first thing we need is pork belly. Now we must do something that it's not normal, and that would be to completely remove the skin. Using your knife, go nice and slow and remove the whole thing. Once that's done, you want to go ahead and butterfly it, which basically means to open the whole thing up, because now we gotta add a lot of flavor into it. And this is the easiest step, as into a food processor you want to throw a generous amount of garlic, followed by thyme, rosemary, and sage. Now blend that up real good, and this is what you're left with, your herb mix. Now you want to place a generous amount of that onto the pork belly, then season it with a good amount of salt, followed by freshly ground black pepper, and go ahead and roll the whole thing into itself, making it as tight as possible, because to get it even tighter, you want to go ahead and use some butcher's twine. This is one of those cases that the tighter it is, the better, because once you're done, check it out. It should look just like this. It is now ready to be cooked sous vide, and the whole goal is to cook it through, but most importantly, render that fat. Using sous vide will allow the whole thing to cook in its own fat, making it super delicious. But I didn't stop there, as I went ahead and grabbed the picanha, because we are beef guys. I want to know what happens if you porchetta a picanha as well, because after opening up the whole thing, I went ahead and added the herb mix, followed by a generous amount of salt and pepper, and immediately closed it up, tie it really good, and this is now ready to be cooked sous vide. Let me know in the comments down below right now which one you think it's going to be better, pork or steak. Well, we're about to find out right now. Now for the temperatures, they're going to be slightly different. The picanha, I am doing so at 135 degrees Fahrenheit for 8 hours. The pork belly is going to be at 165 degrees Fahrenheit. And one big advice, pork belly floats. Make sure that you put something on top of it to hold it down. The heavier, the better. Because as they were cooking, we needed to prepare other things to make this sandwich amazing. First, the fat of the porchetta. I went ahead and flipped it on its side, remove as much fat as I could, then into my dry aged it goes overnight to dry up. The next day, I went ahead and sliced the whole thing, making nice small strips, placed that onto a cooling rack, and into an oven it goes at 325 degrees Fahrenheit. As to finish it up, I went ahead and deep fried the whole thing in lard at 375 degrees Fahrenheit. This will be the perfect crunchy element into my sandwich. Oh yes, it will. I mean, just take a look at it. They are delicious just like this, and it's going to be perfect to go along inside of the porchetta sandwich. However, when I was in Italy, there was one thing that these sandwiches could always use, and that would be some incredible sauces. And to make them, it's super simple, and here's how. For the very first one, into a blender I threw in some garlic, followed by capers, parsley, and basil. Closed the whole thing up, started to blend it on high, and little by little I added some avocado oil, making the whole thing nice and creamy. As in the end, you are left with this, an incredible sauce that is gonna go well with the sandwich. However, we needed another one, so into a blender I threw in some bell peppers, followed by some spicy peppers, a good amount of salt, followed by freshly ground black pepper, and avocado oil. Blended everything on high, and there you have it. Two nice and simple sauces that are gonna go well with the sandwiches. Because talking about that, by this time they were fully cooked, and to stop the cooking process, you want to immediately put it in cold water. So I went ahead and opened up the bag, pat it dry really good, and it obviously needs a nice crust. I went ahead and did the same exact thing with the picanha as well, as after opening up the bag, I pat it dry really good, as now the only thing left to do is to finish them up and assemble the sandwich. Cause I know what you're thinking, these porchetta don't look good right now, but watch this. And here we have our sandwiches. Are you hungry, Leo?
Guga, you know me, I'm always starving.
These look fantastic, everybody. I will say this, there's something special about a porchetta, and this one comes straight from my heart from Italy.
I love every time you travel, Guga, because you always bring a new trick, a new technique. Every time you go out, it's always good for us.
Well, there's not much to say. Let's give it a try, everybody, because I have a feeling it's gonna be a little bit good. Let's give it a go right now. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Oh, come on, man.
You guys hear that crunch?
The wonderful thing about this sandwich is that you can do way ahead of time and just leave it on your refrigerator as a cold cut. And the flavors that come through is amazing. I will highly recommend you make the sauces though.
Those sauces have so much flavor on them, and the combination of sauces as well make this such a dynamic bite of a sandwich. A little bit spicy, a little bit of acidity. It does feel very rich, and that meat is just so tender.
It's all about the meat, baby.
And you get that little crispiness of the chicharron too. It's like a little surprise hidden inside this meat mountain. It's very nice.
I know what you might be thinking, everybody. The chicharron is an extra step. Yes, it is. You gotta go and you gotta deep fry this thing or put it in the oven or whatever it is that you wanna do. And I'll be honest with you, even though it gives you a nice crunch, without it, it's just fine.
I thought this was a sauce, but it's like the seasoning of the actual meat is like, there's so many herbs in it. It gives the meat such an incredible aromatic flavor. Oh my God, forget the sauce. Just season your meat like this and it's so amazing.
It's so good, everybody. So good, so good. Now, if you're thinking you should toast the bread, I tell you right now, don't toast the bread. The bread is just there to absorb some of the flavor. This is amazing. But Leo, this is more the traditional version because it's done with pork. So here on the second one, I don't know what to call this. Picanha-queta, porquinha-queta.
Picanha-queta?
I don't know what to call it, everybody. This is a picanha done porchetta style. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Okay. Porchetta is okay.
Porchetta. Porchetta good, steak is better.
Yeah, you know, I have to agree with you. Porchetta is next to this. This is a piece of heaven on a sandwich, everybody. It's so good.
The fact that the bread is not toasted is so amazing because you can really get a big bite of this and you can just taste that deliciously soft, tender steak.
You know what's most surprising to me? That the seasoning from the porchetta actually work with the picanha, everybody. I can't believe thyme, sage, and rosemary works with my queen. I said this 1,000 times and I'll say it again. Respect the queen. Which one is your favorite? I don't need to ask.
No, 100%. This one has to be my favorite. I love the fattiness and the juice that comes out of the fat on this picanha. This one has crispy fat. I much prefer this bubbly, juicy, delicious fat from the steak.
I agree.
Man.
Can't go wrong, everybody. This will show you every time. There's nothing better than steak. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, be sure to subscribe. Remember, everything I use is always in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. Go make this right now. You can do ahead of time, everybody.
Guga, look, I'll eat that. Just go somewhere else, please. Go.
Damn, bro. No, let me take one more bite. It's so good.